Last night, I took my kids to play pickleball, and in between games, I was talking to this guy about a business idea he had. As he shared his idea with me, he went into a different zone. You know that zone you go into when you're trying to play it cool, but you can hardly contain your excitement? I forget the exact words he used afterwards, but I could tell he wanted to know what I thought. Was this it? Was this the big idea that would propel him to incredible financial success and help him achieve his life dreams? I'm not sure how it is that I still find myself surprised and perplexed when I come across this kind of a situation. To say I have seen this exact scene play out over 1,000 times would be a huge understatement. My brother Derek has shared with me how people have come to him with a big idea, wanting him to bring it to the world and they can share in the profits, as if this was even remotely a fair trade-off. The truth is, ideas are a dime a dozen. At any given time, without any thought at all, I could easily rattle off several hundred business ideas that within a few years could each easily generate 7 figures per year. Without execution, ideas are worth no more than the paper they're written on, and most don't even make it that far. Execution is everything when it comes to business success. Execution is king. Hey, what about me? Oh, and queen. The truth is, even coming up with an execution plan is not difficult. I could sit down with any given person on any given day, and within an hour, we could come up with an idea and a plan that would make them millions. So far in the podcast, we've talked about all kinds of ways to come up with your big idea and how you can bring it to the world. Knowing what to do is the easy part. We live in the information age. Everything you need to know to be as financially successful as you want is literally at your fingertips. Actually doing it is a whole nother story. But it's really all that matters, and if you can master this one thing, you can be successful at any business you want. Both the college education system and corporate America have mastered the art of getting us to do things. We will spend some of the most prime years of our life taking classes we have no interest in, learning from teachers who have not achieved the goals we want to achieve, being told where to be and when, taking on assignment after assignment, regardless of what it is or if we feel that it's the best use of our time. And before our life has really even started, we will happily go into tens of thousands of dollars of debt or spend our parents' life savings in order to have such an experience. Okay, I just listened to what I said, and before I go on, I want to make sure I make something very clear. My goal here is in no way, shape, or form to bash on any teachers of any school or college or anyone who has gone or is going to college. Tara graduated from college. I almost graduated from college, and she was a teacher. Her parents are teachers. We have helped pay for tuition for some at times. My parents met at college. Tara and I met at college. I believe in many ways college helped my dad provide a better living and lifestyle for our family. I don't hate college. I don't hate colleges. I like a good old college football game just like anyone else. And I think colleges have and will continue to do a lot of good for a lot of people. And if we don't come up with a better path for our kids, then they might go to college too. But that's just the thing. I do believe there's a better way. I just don't believe that for a lot of people, especially people that want to own their own business, that college is necessarily the best path. So with the hope and the belief in a better future for my children and many generations to come, and a belief that change is possible and is needed, I will most likely inadvertently continue to offend people who hear me talking about why I don't think college is the best path and how it could be better or a better way. But I guess I'm just going to have to be okay with that. I love you all, but sometimes you just got to go against the status quo. But honestly, that's kind of the whole point of this episode. Colleges and society have done such a good job of convincing us that there is only one correct path in life that I literally feel this need to hop on here and give a big disclaimer. And that's why I'm so fascinated by it and want to talk about it. I'm blown away, actually, with what they have accomplished. In the corporate world, we'll go day after day to a job we often do not like, to once again be told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. In many instances, missing out on kids' plays and activities, family trips, often sacrificing fitness and health, and getting paid less than we're worth to help build someone else's dream. So why the insanity? Why do we do it? Now, anyone who has an open mind and looks for it, you'll be able to see that everything and everyone in life is your teacher. The college system in corporate America is a treasure trove in the study of getting people to do things. If we can implement and apply a similar system in our personal and business lives and get ourselves to do the things that college and corporate America have gotten us to do, then achieving all your business and life goals will just be the after effect. Remember, it's the doing, not the dreaming, where all the money is made. And ironically, that's when the dreaming does become a reality. Now, I don't claim to be an expert on the human brain or behavioral psychology. But what I do understand from a few smart people out there is we're a good couple 100,000 years past due on a good old operating system update. Our brains have been programmed for survival and are not always the best at helping us get the things we really want in life. You combine that with the modern day instant gratification world we live in, and it's no wonder why we struggle achieving our long-term goals, the things that we truly care about in life. But our brain is also insane. It's incredibly powerful. And the modern age we live in can be a huge benefit. We just need to be aware of what we're dealing with and set up the right system for long-term success. Basically, while it might sound ironic, if you can outsmart your brain, you win. I started to write some of these out, and the plan was to come up with 5, and then I got to 10, 15, and now I'm over 20. So we'll go through as many of these stay on track hacks as we can today, and dive deeper in future episodes. We will also include the entire list in the free business training at millionaireuniversity.com/training. If you can hack your brain to stay on track, you can accomplish anything. So buckle up, Buttercup. Let's ride.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Stay on track hack number 1. Pick a product or service that you are passionate about and believe in. I hate to say it, but the old business adage, do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life, just isn't true. Starting and running a business is a lot of work. No matter how you slice and dice it, it will not be easy. But our brain naturally goes towards pleasure and away from pain. So picking something that you're passionate about will be huge to keep you going each and every day. Now, the truth is when I started a business selling satellite dish TV, I don't know that I would say I was like incredibly passionate about it, but I was passionate about my family, and I did love systems, and I liked working with people, and I loved a good challenge. And I did, at least at the time, believe that it was the best product that I was selling to people. My knowledge and experience in this product, combined with my desire to take care of my family and the belief I had in the product, is what really kept me going every day. Now, would I sell something like that today? Not a chance. The more factors you can stack in your favor will really help you out when the going get tough. Because the going gonna get tough. I'm telling you. But don't worry, you got this. Number 2, and just a heads up, don't take too long on this one, but write down your why. Why is it that you're doing what you're doing? Is it to be able to spend more time with your family? Go on that trip you always wanted to go on? Write these things down, say them out loud, and look at it often when you need that additional motivation. Using these additional senses and reminding your brain of the bigger picture will help you stay on track when your brain wants to quit. Number 3, take lightning fast and effective action. I can't tell you how many people I've seen take forever to get started on the things that really matter in business. And then when they do and they don't get the results that they're hoping for right away, it's so easy to get discouraged and quit. When you start taking effective action from day 1, then hopefully you'll start getting some good results by day 30 versus waiting months or even years to really do anything all that important and then being disappointed right out of the gate with your brain telling you how hard you've worked and you haven't gotten the results that you hoped for. I once went to a business event and a couple came up to me afterwards and shared how they were struggling. I immediately knew what the issue was, but I let them speak a little longer before I gave them the answer. How many hours are you currently spending each day on sales? I asked them. They kind of gave me a blank stare as if they didn't really understand what I was asking, and then rambled off some gibberish, none of which had anything to do with anything that would help them propel their business forward or bring in any additional revenue. So I asked them even more directly, tell me specifically what you have done this week to sell your product or service. Like how many people have you or your team or your marketing efforts reached out to this week? They continued to talk about all the other things that they had to do and that they had going on, but the answer was basically nothing. I told them that if between the two of them they focused 100% for at least 6 hours per day on selling their product, then they would have huge success. They gave me another blank stare as if they didn't totally understand what I was saying and walked away. Taking fast and effective action early on in your business will set the stage for what you and your business are all about and will help give you the feedback you'll need for long-term and sustaining growth. Number 4 is focus. Focus stands for finish one course until success. As entrepreneurs, we all got some serious ADD. Our brains love novelty. We love new and exciting things. It's so easy to say, oh, this thing isn't working, so I'm going to try something else. And then the brain gets firing, the chemicals get released, you start feeling good. You're like, yeah, let's do that new thing. 'Cause you have new hope. You have a new dream. In many instances, our brain gets more excited about thinking about something and dreaming about something than actually doing it, especially when it comes to work. But the truth is, the grass is rarely greener on the other side. I often hear people talking about, oh, is there any money in that thing? Is there money in this thing? There's money in everything. You just got to figure out how to make it work for you. Now, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely a time and a place to pivot. When you start taking fast, effective action, you're going to be able to see things more clearly. You'll have opportunities come up that wouldn't have come up otherwise. But this is a lot different than jumping from idea to idea and thing to thing just because you think, oh, maybe this is better than that thing. I think the most important thing is just being aware that this happens, being aware of how our brain works. But the truth is, as fulfilling as business is, it's really like 90% work. And in a lot of ways, like it should be kind of boring. Don't get me wrong, you'll come up with new creative ways to continue to grow your business and keep the novelty alive. But that's why you systematize it. Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. We'll revisit this, but just remember, while there are a million ways to make $1 million, trying to do all of them or even several of them at once will get you nowhere. Focus is what will make you rich. Number 5 is track and measure everything you do. Similar to how tracking macros and exercise will automatically help improve your fitness level, documenting everything you do in your business will improve business health. And it should make it easy for you or another business fitness coach to be able to easily point out where you're off so you can get back on track. A big part of why this works, once again, goes back to our good old friend, the brain. When your brain's craving that extra Twinkie, but knowing your fitness coach is going to see and the embarrassment that it'll cause is usually enough to stop you in your tracks. Documenting the things you do in your business has the same effect. Even if no one is going to see it at all, just you having to write it down is sometimes painful enough to keep you focused on what matters most. Number 6 is always plan your next day the day before. Write down the top things you're going to do and when you're going to do them. For some reason, it's a lot easier for us to commit to something in the moment that we don't have to actually do it. If you make a commitment to yourself, you write it down, it's in your calendar, your brain knows it's happening. It eliminates the need to make a decision at a moment's notice. It'll also help you subconsciously be prepared for what you're about to take on the next day. Number 7, eat that frog. Do the hardest and most important thing first, which are for some reason usually one and the same. As humans, we love to procrastinate, but just like our bodies have limited energy before we get tired, our brains have limited motivation before we start to slow down. Be sure to use your highest and best motivation first thing in the morning or as early as you can before your brain gets a little tired and a little more easily distracted with shiny objects. If you were to only do the most important thing in your business every day, you would end up having more success than most people could ever even dream of. So get eating them frogs. All right, I'm going to get moving through these a little bit faster and we'll cover more in upcoming episodes. Number 8, remove distractions. Put your phone in another room. Put apps on your computer that don't allow you to visit sites other than the one that you're focused on getting your work done. If you quickly turn to video games when you don't feel like working, make it extra hard to get to. Put it in a box, wrap it with tape, and put it in the garage. Kind of going along with that, number 9 is time blocking. Going back and forth between tasks is incredibly unproductive. The amount of time and energy that it takes us to go back and forth between tasks is, well, it's a lot. Now, there may be times when it's necessary, especially when you're wearing multiple hats. But setting aside allocated time each day to focus on the most critical things in your business is going to be massive when starting and growing your business. Number 10 is community. We all want to feel like we belong and are accepted by the tribe. Thousands of years ago, that meant those in our immediate vicinity. But it has never been easier than it is today to surround yourself with other like-minded people who will encourage and support your dreams. As the saying goes, you are the average of the people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. Number 11 is be careful whose opinion you ask for because they just might give it to you. Tara and I learned a long time ago to be very selective on who we ask for advice when it comes to business. What we found is most people will give you a very strong opinion, even if they have no idea or experience of the thing you're talking about. But my question to you then is, why would you even ask them? But be very careful asking friends and family and others their opinion on something that they probably don't know a whole lot about. It just makes it weird. Number 12, get an accountability partner. This one is huge. Similar to the whole moving away from pain and towards pleasure, as humans, we don't like to let people down. So knowing that you're going to have to go talk to someone and let them know why you didn't do the thing that you said you would do might be just the pain your brain wants to avoid that'll cause it to do the thing that it didn't want to do in the moment that it had to do it most. Number 13, write up an accountability contract. I love this one. Write out the things you will do and by when, and what will happen if you do them or if you don't do them. You can do this with one person or a couple of people. It could be your spouse, business colleague, friend, accountability partner, which I guess technically by default they are when you do this contract with them. Possible consequences for not following through with your end of the contract could be things like give that person money, or donate a sum of money to the political party in which you least identify with. Or maybe you have to wear a chicken outfit and run around in a busy area saying, I'm a chicken, bark, bark, bark. Okay, I think you get the point. But this can be incredibly effective. Just writing it down and signing it and having them sign it is incredibly powerful. Then adding the additional clauses in there is huge. The next one is the dopamine feedback loop. Now, in a way, we're kind of talking about this throughout, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on it very specifically because it's really important you understand this. Unlike the way most of us are programmed through school and corporate America, running your own business is anything but linear. Otherwise, in school, you show up to class and you do an assignment and you get a grade. Go to work and you get paid. It's action, reward. Work this long, get this much money. Good boy, here's your treat. But in business, sometimes it takes a while to dig the well that will then give you water for life. Or build that machine that will then work for you while you just have to maintain it. The rewards aren't so instant, but the ultimate payday is huge. And while our brains are wired to be able to envision those things and get excited about the end result, we really struggle with the day-to-day. If we're not getting that dopamine hit, maybe it's not right. Maybe something's wrong. I'm just not feeling it, we might say. Now, I wish I could say that, well, it's fine. We don't need dopamine, but it's just not true. Like, we need dopamine to function. We need dopamine to survive. We need dopamine to be motivated. And some people just kind of do this more naturally than others. They automatically give themselves that dopamine hit when it comes to doing hard things and taking action on the things that will really make a difference. But why not stack the odds in your favor? Once again, there are a lot of ways you can do this, and we'll continue to talk about it. But I don't know, maybe give yourself a grade if that helps. Maybe you have a gold star chart. I'm kind of teasing, but maybe not. Reward yourself. What are the things you like to do? And let yourself know that once you accomplish the main tasks for that day, you can go do that thing. I mentioned this before, but maybe you start with 100 items in the day, and every time you reach out to someone on a sales call, text, email, whatever it might be, you move that item over to another bowl. Or maybe it's like a piece of cereal that you eat every time. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe 100 pieces of cereal. I don't know. Number 15 is gamify. In business, while it's important to make goals and to continue to reassess and adjust those goals and make sure you're heading in the right direction, you actually want to be kind of careful that you don't spend too much time or energy or attention focusing on the actual end result of those goals, and you more focus and reward yourself for just taking the actions that will get you there regardless of the result. So for example, if you know it takes reaching out to 100 people to talk to 10 people to get one sale, then you want to make your focus reaching out to as many people as you possibly can and not worry so much about the one sell. Because then you're going to tell your brain that you're just getting rejected and you're failing all day long. If you can get your brain to buy into the fact that the success is just in the doing, then that will give you the ability to keep going on the days when things are a little more challenging. Because maybe one day you won't get a sell, but the next day you might get two. Oh, so what does this have to do with gamifying? Many years ago, when I first started doing business coaching, I wanted to really help my clients get the results they wanted. I knew the actions they had to take to get those results. It was just a matter of getting them to do those actions so they could then see for themselves. So we decided to play a game. We had a competition with anyone who wanted to join, and points were not allotted for making money or getting the end result. But points were rather given for them taking the actions that I knew would eventually get them the result they wanted. And the results were incredible. I never saw a group of people have so much fun doing something that most people would consider so hard to do. We had a leaderboard, and each day they would report their numbers while being both inspired and motivated by what each other were doing and trying to beat the other people out as well. I had never seen so much massive, effective action taking in my life. It's almost like the winning was more important to them than any amount of money that they could make. But making money over time is exactly what they did. The last thing I want to share today is show up. Just Do it. Pick a certain amount of time each and every single day that you are going to commit to dedicate to your business. And then show up. You are the only thing that stands in your way of having all the success in life that you want. There are millions of people in this world that are doing it that are no different than you. It's time to think less and do more. Take that effective action where it counts. Day in and day out, consistent and persistent action is what it takes. I'm not talking about the crazy hustle or the grind or work till your eyes bleed. Just be consistent. Just how college and corporate America get people to show up and do the work. If you put in the work on the daily, over time, you'll love the end result. So take a few minutes today to write down and commit to what you are going to do. Apply any stay on track hacks needed, and let's go. And until next time, this is Justin Williams, your Chief Money-Making Officer, signing off. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Millionaire University podcast. If you feel like you've gotten value out of the show so far, we would love it if you would consider leaving us a rating and review. Just head over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts.